This is a clouds weather alert.
Meteorologist Casey Cloud here in the Weather Center. We have a confirmed tornado now on the ground in Wakulla County. We're now getting that here in the Weather Center over the last few seconds. This tornado warning being issued in the last couple minutes. And now the Weather Service is saying there's a debris signature here in Wakulla County. We need folks in shelter immediately here in Wakulla County. We have a tornado on the ground here in that purple polygon. We're going to zoom in on that box here in just a second. Let me go ahead and click on that. We'll kind of give you guys an idea of exactly where this is. This is close to St. Mark's here. We need folks in shelter immediately. A confirmed tornado on the ground doing damage here in southern parts of Wakulla County. Got a very quick spin up here right of the coast. Right here along the coast here. We need folks in shelter immediately. Take those tornado precautions. Interior room away from windows. And I'll show you the debris signature. There it is right there. I mean, this road's not showing up, so it's a pretty rural area, but it's still showing a debris signature. We have a tornado on the ground in Wakulla County right now. We need folks to take their tornado precautions. Weather Service just issued this a moment ago. They're saying at 5:53, a confirmed tornado was located near St. Mark's here. Plum Orchard and Port Leon also, excuse me, under this tornado warning. We need folks in shelter here. Again, we have a tornado on the ground in Wakulla County here. We need folks in shelter. It's moving here. They're saying east at 35, but really kind of tracking the southeast here, I would say. Again, we have a tornado on the ground in Wakulla County right now. We need folks to take their tornado precautions here. Tornado on the ground in Wakulla County, again, confirmed by the Doppler radar, the dual polarization here on radar. We have this confirmed, and we have the tornado watch still on put at 7. We thought the threat was kind of relaxing a little bit, but we saw a warning toward Gulf County a few minutes ago. And now we have a confirmed tornado to the east. Now this warning here could get extended into Franklin. We're watching this, getting ready to come on for this one. This tornado warning to the east popped up here and then very, very quickly went confirmed here in Wakulla County. So again, we have a tornado on the ground there in Wakulla County, right along the coast. This is not toward Crawfordville, but it's right here along the coast. Again, we've had a confirmed tornado based upon the dual polarization of the Doppler radar. So we need folks in shelter here. Again, let's go back on over toward radar scope right now. You'll be able to see what we're tracking right here. It'll probably be a pretty weak tornado, and it's over a rural area, so that's the good news. But a tornado nonetheless, confirmed by the Doppler radar. I know they're continuing the tornado warning in the west now for Gulf. That's still out of our area, but you can see how we had a small and weaker debris signature show up here in Wakulla County. It's already drifting toward the coast at this point, so it's about to go back here toward the water. This type of threat. Let me go ahead and see what we're tracking here with the circulation, how it kind of came together real quick. We're seeing this kind of emerge here. We had it very quickly spin up. We had greens and reds come together and then very quickly produce a tornado, a quick, weak, brief tornado here in Wakulla County. So again, a dangerous situation here. We need folks in shelter, but granted, it's going to be over the water here in just a few seconds. But again, a confirmed tornado here in Wakulla County. Again, a dangerous situation on this Friday evening. It's a pretty rural area, but still, we need folks to take their tornado precautions for the next few moments. Again, it's a confirmed tornado. Again, a tornado is on the ground, seem to take shelter now. Again, we were thinking the threat here had been dropping off. The Storm Prediction Center had dropped the risk, and now, though, we have a confirmed tornado on the ground here in Wakulla County. They're also seeing an increase in the lightning there in the Wakulla County axis now. Back to the other radar we go. You can see that probably better on the view we just had a second ago. But you see a few of these strikes here down toward Wakulla, Jefferson, a little bit of Jefferson. Also under this as well, just in case. As the rotation, though, we'll see if it kind of cleared the coast at Wakulla or not. But again, this popped up very rapidly here. Again, a confirmed tornado in this area. Gotta take those tornado precautions here as we're live on the air on all the different platforms to keep you guys safe. Again, we're trying to keep you guys up to date here. with the very latest information. Obviously, when there's a tornado warning in play like this, it's always the utmost serious type of situation, and that's what we're covering here right now. Again, tornado warning for parts of Jefferson and Wakulla counties until 6:15. Again, we've had a confirmed tornado based on the Doppler radar dual polarization here over the last few moments. So just trying to get on here as quick as we could to keep you guys safe. Just trying to get on as quick as we could here with the tornado warning in play in the ward parts of Wakulla County. You don't see as much shear on our shear rate product right now. We're also getting, it looks like, another area of rotation to develop, but it's more off the coast. But they're trail tracking this confirmed tornado. The Weather Service they're saying it is about, as I go back on over here toward the other radar mode, it's about 10 miles southeast of St. Mark, moving. They're technically still saying east at 35, but again, we're watching that toward the south and west. We have this other tornado warning, not confirmed at the last check here in Gulf. We'll have to watch it for Franklin County over the next little bit, but again, a confirmed tornado on the ground here. We need folks in shelter in this area. A dangerous situation sparking up. We did have a thunderstorm warning issued toward the north here just a little while ago, but it didn't seem like things were really matching up there as much with the reflectivity and the velocities on the scans before, so it didn't come on for that. And in the Gulf situation, not in our area yet still, but this just went up very rapidly. Generally, you don't see this too often around here, but it has happened here with a confirmed tornado on the ground. As we're watching the loop, you kind of see I've skipped between some radars, checking some different things out, but you still have things were kind of really just in one direction. All of a sudden, right as we got toward the coast here, things took a turn here in Wakulla County. Probably a weak lower end tornado, but still a tornado nonetheless here. Pretty unpopulated area, I think, but let me double check. Let's double check here on correlation coefficient. Let me just see what we're tracking. I'm going to take this off to just kind of look here. Yeah, that's a marshy type of area there, honestly. But could have some damage in there. I mean, it looks really unpopulated, to be quite honest here. Just glancing here at first glance. That'd be good news, obviously. Hopefully it didn't start touching down into a gum orange trees and marshy type areas. So that'd be good news, obviously. Again, continuing to watch things here in this area. You see the latest polygon things look like they're maybe more off, or at least right at the coast here, maybe more toward Jefferson. Seemed like it did kind of take a little turn there in toward Jefferson in the last couple of scans, but it's right at the coast, and it has weakened, and we don't know if it's necessary on the ground here at this point. So again, we're continuing to follow the situation. Again, we're at 6:02 now on the clock. I'm meteorologist Casey Cloud here in the Weather Center. Again, we're watching off toward the west, the other tornado warning storm. See what the Weather Service decides to do about that. I'm going to see here what our other mode is showing us. Our other mode is showing us here. We're going to zoom on in toward Port St. Joe. It's weaker now, more broad. That's kind of what I was thinking might happen here, and that's why we didn't break in for it here out toward the west, because it did not include parts of Franklin in it. Franklin's our covered area. Gulf is not. As that's really in the Panama City television market there. But again, we did have and still do have a confirmed tornado warning for areas further off toward the east. So we just have to kind of be mindful here of what can happen in this type of situation. Again, a confirmed tornado warning. Granted, the circulation here seems to be right over the water or right along the Jefferson coastline now. On the latest scans, you can see here, this is what we're tracking. You see the greens and the reds here on the Doppler. At least a little bit of the lighter greens going on up there. Not seeing a debris signature at this time, so that's the good news. Hopefully we get this warning to go away and we don't get another warning to the west. We won't have to come back on the air here for at least a little bit, hopefully. But again, you see this area of green and red that's trying to kind of come together here. This is very rural coastal Jefferson County that we're tracking here. Right now, the action. Let's see if we have some power outages in Wakulla County now. We'll go ahead and see what's going on here. We'll go ahead and see what's going on, going between some of our different radars. Let's go to the broad view. Let's go to the broad view here, and we'll switch on over to that now. See what's happening here in this scenario. You see the thunderstorm watch in the pink color there. tornado watch in the yellow there. And let me just see what's going on here in terms of those power outages. Again, we had not had a tornado warning all day in our covered area until within a couple moments. It was a confirmed tornado on the ground doing damage. So I know we do have some power outages in Leon County, and that's honestly probably going to have more of the outages. So let's go on over there right now. They're continuing to tornado watch for some areas, canceling out for more, but you see 4,000 customers in the dark in Leon, 124 in Jefferson. There, Wakulla, none as of this moment. Franklin, none. Liberty, none, as they're just talking about it now. Here in the chat, that's from a few minutes ago what we're seeing on the outage. This could change, but the Wakulla tornado warning storms weaken just a bit, but it will more than likely continue here as at enough of a level 4 a tornado warning here. Let me read that again. I'm a little okay. So Wakulla County tornado warning storm weakened just a bit, but will more than likely continue the tornado warning downstream. So they're talking about issuing a new warning downstream. So we'll have to just continue to watch for that. And they're listening for damage reports on the radio right now. I haven't heard anything yet. So let's see what's going on here. Let's see what's going on. Looks like we're going to get a new warning now, new thunderstorm warning up to the north, so things must be more co-located now within the Doppler radar algorithms here. Let me go ahead and switch back on up toward the north. We just got a new thunderstorm warning toward Valdosta now. So this is a thunderstorm warning for parts of Madison, Lanier, and Lowndes until 6:30. At 6:05, severe thunderstorms are located along the line extending from 6 miles southeast of Moody Air Force Base to 7 miles north of Madison, moving east at about 35 miles an hour. So these will eventually here become more of an issue as we get into towards some of those Jacksonville counties here that are covered by the Weather Service in Jacksonville. But again, continuing to watch down toward the south here. Just checking. Okay, that rotation's actually kind of re-emerged some more now. Wow, this must be moving around it. Let me see. That's something. It's not. And it's weird looking here how it's kind of hugging the coast. We thought it was going to go more down toward the south, but it's taking a turn more toward the east now. And I think they're going to have to issue a new tornado warning maybe for parts of Taylor County. So this is a bizarre situation to get just to ride along the coast like this. It just didn't want to get off the coast. We don't normally get this around here. But a dangerous situation as we get toward parts of Taylor County maybe, with a possible tornado/water spout right along the coast there with the greens and reds coming together. So we may get a new tornado warning here for that area. So I know they're talking about a new severe thunderstorm warning is going to be issued for parts of Clinton, Eccles, and Hamilton as well now, as things are ramping up there in the overall grand scheme of things. So got to be watching that pattern, got to be watching that situation carefully. So going to gather more information, be back in about 2.5 minutes as we continue the coverage.
This is a clouds weather alert.
Meteorologist Casey Cloud back here in the Weather Center at 610. We just got a new tornado warning we were talking about the other rotation now weakening as it moves more into ward part of Taylor County, or at least tries to. I'm going to go ahead and read you the statement here at 6:07. Severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado located 14 miles east of St. Mark's. Moving east at 35 miles an hour. Southwestern Jefferson, northwestern Taylor counties under this until 6:30. So we're continuing to track it. I know this warning box only has 148 in it. The last tornado warning here only had, if you can believe it, the one we had a confirmed tornado only had 2 people in the population. That is very low for anywhere, especially for our area. We generally have much more, so obviously that's good news. But you hear that one beep, that's the Gulf warning. That had quite a bit of population out of our area, but that's been canceled out. So that's the good news here. But as I say that, we're now seeing it seems like maybe the rotation is showing up a little bit better on radar scope again on this newest scan. So let's go ahead and see what we have over here. We'll show you guys here some of the pinks and the greens showing on up. You can see what we're talking about here in toward this area. Maybe something trying to reemerge again. I mean, the population not done much higher, but it could try to touch down another tornado. But they're talking in the chat right now. They think maybe right now it's just mainly in that St. Mark's refuge area. So that's the good news. And they're talking about the couplets tightening up quite a bit now. So it kind of looked like it was weakening there for a moment. And now it's tightened back up again. So this day's been something. As we continue to track things here, weaken up, tighten up, you kind of get the idea. Let me go ahead and see what we got here in terms of some other systems. Let me see what we got. So there's your new box again that we were talking about a few moments ago. Still really low population out here. Do want to talk about what's going on in the ward part of the new thunderstorm warning that got issued by the Jacksonville office. So this is parts of Hamilton, Echoes, and Clinton until 7. There is more population up here, so let's go ahead and get a look at this. Let's go ahead and get a look at this right now. We'll go ahead and zoom on in toward this area up to the north here as we get toward part of areas there around Lake Park, for instance. You can see what's going on. Not seeing a lot, honestly, on this mode of velocity, but some of the different modes can give you a different perspective sometimes. So we'll just wait and see. But Lake Park there, Dasher, you kind of get the idea. That's what we're tracking. This down here, and let's switch back to the other radar. Again, we have tornado warnings here in play. As we talked about, that's what we got on the air here in Italy. It seems like this couplet's kind of weakening back down some, but wants to go and come. I mean, maybe when it hit the coast there, sometimes maybe it kind of spun it up. Sometimes you get that friction. When it happens in a tropical system, sometimes you start getting tornadoes to form with the friction, and it kind of going from water to land or water to land there kind of could have caused something to happen with that circulation to tighten it back up a little bit. But you kind of get the idea. We're watching things here carefully. It's a very rural area, though. We're looking here closer to U.S. Highway 98, but again, we're not seeing a whole bunch on this. Again, we did have a confirmed tornado, though, probably toward the refuge area, St. Mark's Refuge. Very rural, the best spot almost. I mean, don't know for sure, obviously, but one of the best spots you probably can get a tornado warning or confirmed tornado. Really, hopefully nobody got impacted by it. I don't know for sure, obviously, but just want to go ahead and keep our eyes on things as we go back up toward the north now. Again, there's not a lot here on this, but it could be also running into radar interference here. You can see around Lake Park, I-75, getting into where some of this lightning there. You kind of get the idea. Let's get back down toward the south, though. Again, US 98, we're watching things carefully here. We're watching things carefully in toward this vicinity. Again, it's such a rural area, my friends. I mean, it's a very rural area. That's good news. The box here, I didn't mean to switch it like that. So let's go ahead. Let's go ahead and switch this way. Let me turn this off just a second. Very rural area, though. We're talking about southwestern Jefferson, northwestern Taylor, and areas there around, it looks like Scanlon and Ecofina there. Ecofina, very, very rural. I'm trying to point them out just to let you guys know what's going on there. toward these communities there just in case. I mean, you never know what could happen here in one of these situations. Again, we're still watching this tornado warning situation to keep you guys up to date. Here in the Weather Center, though, just trying to see exactly what's happening, obviously, so you guys know what to do in these type of scenarios. And what you do in a tornado warning is put as many walls between you and the outside as possible, obviously. That's what you want to do here, so just keep that in mind. Keep that in mind here as you're tracking the situation. Again, that red box means there's a tornado indicated by radar. The purple box a moment ago, it was confirmed on the Doppler radar. They are confirmed by the hydrometeors that were different, dissimilar from what we were seeing with the rainfall there earlier on. So let's take a look. We just got a mesoscale discussion in here from the Storm Prediction Center. Okay, we're trying to get those in our system, so bear with me. Just trying to read about that. It looks like it hadn't quite come out in the other mode yet, so I'll just pull it up on our system here that we have on the streaming. So again, looks like the rotation's really weakened though, but that's the good news. That's how it'll be sometimes in these situations. But let's go over now to our Earth. You can see, okay, so they're saying broken band of strong and severe thunderstorms with a few supercells currently extends from their Waycross southwest into the eastern Florida Panhandle over northwest Taylor County. This activity is propagating east-southeast through a modest instability axis along the southern fringe of approaching shortwave trough, and more than adequate deep layer flow remains supportive of supercells and organized clusters. And given the current speed and movement, this activity should remain within the watch through at least 7 o'clock, and a local extension may be warranted for areas north of Cross City. So, gotta have to watch for that then here in the Weather Center, even though we had seen the tornado threat drop some. You just never know in these type of scenarios. You just never know, and we gotta remain on guard. You see our instability values, our tornado values here. Go between some of those. Continue to keep you updated. There's one more tornado warning in the country right now, and that's the southwest of Charlotte toward Gaston and Mecklenburg counties. So getting closer toward the Charlotte metro. I know that I don't have the greatest radar covered up there, but something that we monitor on those local stations. But back down here, again, this is about as low as the population as you'll see with the tornado warning, which is good, obviously, and it may not be a tornado warning for much longer, which would obviously be good here as well. Again, checking things here. They're saying right now 148 in this polygon goes until 6:30. The other polygon only had 2, yes, 2 in the population. So that's something. Anyway, again, we'll go ahead and zoom back on out here. Go ahead and zoom back on out as we continue to watch this. The wind direction here. I know we have those different temperatures. You see some cooler temperatures where they've had to rain, but these pressures 1,008 millibars, 1,009 millibars, so a little bit on the lower side here that can help to factor in some of this rotational potential sometimes. But again, we've been going for a long time, so I apologize. I sound a little out of breath or instead of lost for words, because we've been going here for much of the afternoon and now into the evening hours to keep you, your friends, and your family safe. Again, a dangerous situation here at times for some folks. Again, though, I mean, this is over about as rural of an area as you can get. But even just a few people in our area, we still have to be talking about you. We got to make sure we provide that coverage because it can still be life-saving. So, again, let me go back on over toward radar scope. You can see here the lightning showing up in this area. That cloud-to-ground potential is there. Again, we zoom in real tight. All you see is pretty much is U.S. Highway 98 and its circulation, if there is even one still there, probably south of that. So that's the good news. Again, zooming back out again, we still have a tornado warning. Hadn't been dropped yet here. Gotta make sure you get inside and away from windows if you live in this very rural area. I mean, some of you might just be driving through the red box, to be quite honest. So that's something to kind of keep in mind here as well. But let me go ahead and switch back on over to other source. Go over here. They're talking here in the chat, gave us an update, so I'm going to go ahead and look at the velocity with this. They're saying the tornado warning storm near the coast of Taylor no longer has a debris signature as it is gusting out, but they're going to continue it to monitor it for a little longer before canceling it early, possibly canceling it early. So that's the good news down there. It's not much of a threat at this point, I do not believe. You still got to remain on guard. So again, we're going to go up to the north now. We're going to go up to the north and watch things as we get toward the Moody side. It'll update that here in just a moment for us. We're just continuing to watch here. Continue to give you the latest coverage, obviously. I know I've been going between a bunch of systems today. Going kind of slow here at this point, but let's go over to this perspective real quick. It's the red box. That's what we jumped on immediately here. It was a different box toward the west, a confirmed tornado now. I mean, it was a purple box, actually, when you think about it, but tornado warning is always of utmost concern, especially when there's a debris signature. Even if it's in the middle of almost nowhere, there still could be somebody out there that needs protection. So, again, you see our yellow boxes up here to the north, closer to Valdosta, though. You see what we're dealing with up there. Maybe some stronger winds to the east. Homerville, Jennings, Statenville, DuPont, and Mayday. Watching things up there. Continuing to track it. Okay, switch radar. So let's see what the Moody site's showing. See if there's maybe a little more on this than I think there is. There must be. I mean, I haven't studied it that well because we've been focusing on the stuff to the south with the tornado warnings. But you can see here, you can see what we're dealing with. We are seeing a little bit of brighter colors and none of velocity in spots. But I mean, there's a spot here that's maybe 40-mile-an-hour winds, but it's really close down to the surface. So it looks like we just got a report in out of Lakeland, Georgia. Okay, so let's see something here. Let me check something real quick. So Lakeland, Georgia, it does not look like they were ever under a warning there in Lakeland. But we're now getting reports of damage there. A power line down on Lakeshore Drive in North Temple. And this is a tough situation for everybody here, to be quite honest. I mean, the stuff is really ramping up quick and then really ramping down kind of quick here as well. So it's tough to get the warnings out, tough to get on the air here. Sometimes when we have these situations, they just pop up so quickly. As they have officially expired, the tornado warning toward the south. It just went off my map. So now we're back to this tracking this cluster here. Thunderstorm warnings here to the north. This area of thunderstorm warnings. And since we got that report in, we'll be a little more concerned on the weather service down in Tallahassee and in Jacksonville to maybe keep things going. We'll just have to wait and see. But again, just have to make sure things stay calmer, I guess you could say here, in towards some of these spots. So again, getting back up toward the north right now. Getting back up toward the north. We're watching things, tracking things, keeping you guys advised. Tornado warnings no longer on the board. They're in very rural areas, if you're wondering, toward parts of Wakulla and then Jefferson and Taylor as well, here on that board. So that's the good news. Again, you see here some of these brighter colors, 40-mile-an-hour winds, things like that, showing up here. But since we had a history of some power issues, power line down in Lakeland, Georgia, on Lakeshore Drive in North Temple, that's always problematic to hear, obviously. So continuing to watch that. Let's see where else we want to go with this. There's a one tornado warning in North Carolina right now. Radars aren't going to give us a very good look at it because there's not great radar covered up there, and it's not easy to figure it out. But there could be a tornado headed towards Charlotte. We'll wait and see on that. But obviously going to take shelter if you're in the red box up there. Let me see that. If you happen to be watching from there, have relatives in that area. The terminal radar, I mean, neither radar's doing all that great with this. But let me go ahead and let me go back up here for just a moment. You can see we're watching some rotation in here. The other radar is way down to the south and west here. You can see we have that storm. We have another storm near Rock Hill in the east. Let's have to continue to watch those from that national perspective for sure as we continue to track things very carefully. So, just seeing what else we got here. Going back on over toward the Doppler. They are continuing the warning here for Hamilton, Clinton, Eccles until 7. That's the Jacksonville office. Most of that's pushed into their jurisdiction at this point. Aaron on the side of Costin here. Jennings and Hamilton County, Statenville, and Eccles County. Watching things. I just see a report in from Fort Braden earlier, a report of a tree down on Bloxham cut off between the frontage road 360 and frontage road 342. So that's kind of interesting to hear. But again, we're watching things. No longer a tornado warning in our area. So what we're going to do right now, we're going to be back in about 5 minutes with more information. I do see a new update came in where they're just continuing the tornado warning for Mecklenburg and North Carolina. But in our area, we're no longer seeing the tornado warnings that we were seeing right near the coast. But we still got to watch things very carefully, like we will. Again, we'll be back in about 5 minutes with more information. Again, let me take the tornado warning thing off. I didn't even see that. I apologize. No longer in effect there. So that's not an issue anymore. So that's the good news. Back here soon.
This is a clouds weather alert.
Back here in the Weather Center, 6:31, I'm meteorologist Casey Clyde. The one warning toward the west off the board, but we're still tracking one for parts here of Hamilton, Clinton, echoes until 7. Not a lot in velocity, but we're really close to the radar, so it may be kind of obscuring things a little bit. Watching some stuff down toward the south too, maybe a little bit of weak rotation down here, so we'll just have to continue to be on guard, obviously. Make sure things don't spin on us too quickly, but I know there's some tornado warnings in North Carolina, toward Virginia. So that's something to watch. But then another storyline that we want to touch on is they just extended the thunderstorm watch area down toward the south towards Stark and Gainesville. So if you're watching from Stark and Gainesville in that pink now, that is for that threat of severe thunderstorms maybe moving through at least until 10, but could go even later than that here. And then tornado watch was extended until 8 o'clock for some spots here in the yellow here down toward the south. So I just trying to err on the side of caution and kind of make sure everything's kind of together like puzzle pieces, I guess you could say, kind of like puzzle pieces. So again, just trying to keep you guys up to date here, keep you guys informed, obviously. In this very long day of storm coverage, which may not be close to being over here, honestly. I might have to come back even if we go up for a little bit to provide you with more information here. So, again, it's a busy day in the Weather Center. We had quite a bit of damage reports up toward Berrien County and then that debris signature in rural Wakulla County. So, again, just trying to keep you guys abreast of the situation. You see around Jennings here some stronger winds. We'll see if there's a need for a new warning. We're watching down to the south, so be careful in Madison County because a little more populated down here, and we're seeing a little bit of weak rotation. I don't want everybody caught off guard here and something. I mean, it may get cut off, but we just got to be careful here in this situation. And for perspective, the next warning on this, if they were to extend this out, it could go for pretty rural areas as well. But I mean, we're seeing 30 within the radar velocities right now, so not real impressive, but we're going to keep our eyes on things. Let's look down here. Don't want to have more rotation come ashore and catch us here, and we're not on the air, and we want to make sure we give you that heads up here, obviously, in these type of situations. So let me go ahead and go on over here. Let me get on over towards some other modes. Make sure we have some other areas covered. There is some weak rotation here as we look down toward the coast. So let me go ahead and go on over to radar scope right now. Let me go to radar scope. See a little bit of that as we get down here. You can see our special weather statement for parts of these areas near Apalachicola. So a little bit of weak rotation down there and then some weak rotation off toward the east here. But not a lot of wind overall. I mean, in here that would be suggestive of rotation. But there are mainly gusts of 40 just off the coast. That's good to know. Earlier on, stuff was closer to the coast. You don't expect maybe stuff to develop like it did, but it did do so. So you got to remain on guard. You got to stay abreast of the situation. I think what we're going to do right now, unless I see something next minute or two that kind of like catches my eye, I think we're going to wrap it up for now, and we'll come back as necessary here. You see off toward Jennings, you see these areas in brighter color, the 30 to 40 mile an hour winds in there, so we'll keep our eyes on that. I think we're going to wrap it up for now. If we need to come back on, of course we will. We'll be monitoring things very carefully from the Weather Center, but this warning does continue toward areas, mainly more toward Jennings and Statenville. You see Tara, Potter, may get an extension off toward areas like Fargo here over the next little bit, so heads up. Might just be a situation where we tweet about it, post it on Facebook versus actually come on the air just based on the population and the overall wind signature I'm seeing, but gotta stay on guard. I mean, actually, in this last scan, we're seeing a little bit of opposing winds. Of course we are. It's been that kind of day here in the Weather Center. Things come and go. But so we gotta watch for a little weak rotation in there as well. Nothing imminent here in the next few moments, but eventually could have something tighten up and maybe brought the tornado warning. There is a tornado watch and play for some of these areas. So have to be kind of cognizant of what's going on. I'll be back here as needed. Hopefully that kind of weakens back on down. Still watching some rotation south of I-10 as well. Again, we have to be mindful of what could happen here in this environment. There's enough of the parameters there that we could have more tornado warnings issues. So make sure you _WX on Twitter. You follow that for his automated alerts. And of course, if we need to jump back on, we'll do so immediately here on Facebook on Twitter there at Cloud Casey. You can search on YouTube for meteorologist Casey Cloud. Even watch that on Roku, on your Roku device. From that, you have Twitch and the website as well. That website, of course, will give you a rundown of all the links, and then interactive radar there at cloudweather.com/radar.